It's me. I just want to show you something kind of new that I picked up last weekend. Finally came in the mail. I kind of realized on YouTube that there wasn't any kind of reviews on this particular folding bike, the Dahon licensed technology Boardwalk S1. It's a really kind of low-end entry folding bike, and I'll kind of explain why I got into it, why I got it, and kind of some hindsight on it, and why I still think it's a good pickup for a bike. Now, a little bit of some background. By no means am I an avid cyclist. In fact, I haven't gotten back onto a bike probably since I was 14, and I'm 32 now. So, but you know, I've taken a little beach trip with some friends, and I've kind of seen that it's picked up in speed in terms of recreation. So I wanted to give it a try, and I actually asked one of my cousins, kind of who's really into cycling, a little bit more about it. He recommends something else, but you know, the next kind of step up in terms of cycles starts really costing a lot, and I wanted something that was kind of stupid easy and really cheap in case, you know, I were to have problems. Now the other thing is, I'm not exactly a small guy by even US standards, so I wasn't really sure if this bike would be able to handle me. And there's some reported weight limitations on all the classic folding bikes, even from this low end here all the way up to the really expensive Bromptons. So I really wasn't sure if I wanted to take a huge plunge. But anyways, wanted to go into this one first before I started to look into the other options. All right. So anyways, this is the Dahon licensed technology bike. Which means it's not really made by Dahon, which is kind of a big company that makes a lot of inexpensive folding bikes up to some, you know, pretty high-end folding bikes. But just so you understand, this is all, that's a little magnet, little earth magnet we got. This is all steel. There's no aluminum parts. As you can see, which can kind of make this thing a little heavy. So don't think that this is going to be, you know, something that more experienced riders would, you know, be able to fold up and take with them just about anywhere, or put into one of those hard suitcases and take with them on trips or anything. But on the other hand, it's got really easy controls. There's really just one gear on it, so I mean, you know, you're not going to be cruising that quickly, but that's why it's called a Boardwalk and not like a 7-speed or something. I'm not going to bother folding it up because honestly, it folds up like every other Dahon style bike. It's got coaster brakes, so that means it's like the old school drag brakes where you backpedal and it'll engage your brakes on the rear wheels. It's got you know, front brakes up here, which are pretty decent. I mean, again, you're not really riding fast, so it's not as big as a deal to slow down. And certainly, if worst goes to worst, you can just, you know, hop off of it and bail out. It's got the kind of old-fashioned wire rack on the back in case you need to break out some cable tie downs and carry stuff, I suppose. Although I suppose in that situation you're probably already wearing a bag anyways on your back. Hindsight on this is a great little bike. I bought it purely for the convenience and for the entry cost, and you know, certainly I can see this being a great gateway into the world of, you know, a little bit more recreational cycling than what I do, which is just kind of bombing around the neighborhood and maybe taking out to the beach and riding. Some things that I wish. Well, you know, like I said, I'm a big guy. Don't have a lot of experience modifying these bikes, although I've heard people doing pretty well with them. These are not exactly the widest tires. As you can see, it's probably just a little bit wider than my toe here, but it can handle my weight, and that's pretty good. This seat is really uncomfortable, and I know there's some experienced cyclists that say, you know, well, the more you cycle, the the more it'll mold, or your body will mold to it and it will mold to you. And likewise, that because it's a simple seat, you can just buy another replacement. Well, I wanted to keep the cost down, but like I said, this is not exactly a hardcore bike. But certainly I can see myself getting, an inexpensive pad for this, because this hurts, especially for a guy. What else? Obviously, it's great because I can just stow it anywhere. In my place, I just kind of leave it unfolded, so I can just take it out the door right there and just go for a quick little ride. But certainly, it packs really easily into the trunk of my car, which is a sedan. And I can see actually fitting about 4 of these in there, whereas before, with a full-size bike or anything like that, you'll have to install a rack. And honestly, I hate seeing those things on anything but like full-size trucks, cars, minivans, all that kind of jazz. Just not sexy. I'm probably more of a car guy than I am a bike guy. So great pickup. Certainly would consider, after riding this, upgrading to something like a Mu P8 or one of the other, more badass Dahons out there. Or even someday hopefully getting something like a Brompton, provided I know that it can handle, my frame on its frame. So there you go. In a short bit, I'll take a little quick ride around my neighborhood to show you what it can do.